So you know what? Maybe I was wrong. Prayer does changes things. It changed me yesterday. Well, actually, it didn't change me, but it changed the relationship that I had with a lady friend. So maybe I am right. Prayer changes things for the worse, not for the better. So yesterday, I had a I had a conversation with a lady friend that I reconnected with a few weeks ago. Now we went to the same church years ago, over 10 years ago, right? So we got on the conversation of, the last time that I met her, she was kind of leaning more towards spirituality and not religion, right? So I didn't know that she was still trying to hold on to this Christian, you know what I'm saying, of being a Christian. So we got on the conversation of prayer. She said, I still pray, but I still don't want strangers knocking on my door to pray with me. Now this is regarding a conversation with the Mormons coming and knocking on my door video that she seen on my YouTube channel. And she says she don't want strangers coming knocking on her door to pray with her. She says she don't want nobody laying hands on her or touching her either. I said, I don't see no reason to pray. It makes no sense to me. We make things happen. Prayer is a waste of time. Pray, P-R-A-Y, and P-R-E-Y is the same word. So praying, I was telling her that praying only makes us pray. P-R-E-Y, P-R-E-Y. She says, I feel things happen for me spiritually. I feel things happen for me supernaturally. But yes, we have to put the work in. Now, everything about God or about spirituality is always what we feel. We always lead with emotions and feelings. We always lead with that. So is it just a feeling? Is it just an emotion? She says, I feel things happen for me supernaturally, but yes, we have to put the work in for ourselves. So if we have to put the work in ourselves, what does prayer do? Because prayer doesn't get the work done. After you get up off your knees, think about that. You got to get on your knees. After you do the work of getting on your knees and praying and petitioning, you have to get up and do something. So what did prayer do? It didn't do nothing. Because after you pray, after you get through petitioning, you have to go make something happen. So prayer doesn't work because prayer is not the work. Prayer is just the conversation. It's just the petition. It's not putting things in action. It's not making things happen when you pray, because you have to make that happen after you get through talking. Begging is what you're doing. Making yourself a victim, you have to get up and go make something happen yourself. So she say pray and pray, P-R-E-Y, have different meanings. Just like to, T-O, and to, T-O-O, and etc. I say it's all a feeling. Everything we believe about God is what we feel about God. Feelings are unreliable. She said, to each his own. We all have our own perspective and our own experiences. So religion messes up good relationships, man. Religion and the Bible and God, it all causes division. It messes up good relationships. Well, that's your perspective. That's your belief. That's your experience. And another thing I notice about prayer is it makes you selfish. It makes you a selfish person to think, okay, God, he answering my prayers. I don't know about you. Maybe you praying wrong. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? The blame is always you. Maybe you're doing it incorrectly. Maybe your spirit ain't right. It ain't never God when your prayers don't get answered. So even if your prayers are being answered, if you believe that, that's making you a selfish person because you're looking down on everybody else, blaming everybody else for why their prayers are not getting answered, why your prayers are the ones being answered. So you are God's favorite. So I said prayer doesn't work. Prayer doesn't work without the work. So it don't do nothing. Exclamation points. Prayer is just all talk. It don't do nothing. You talking to your higher self. So if you are praying, you're not talking to a God. You're only talking to yourself, to your higher self. She said, I'm looking forward to, that don't have nothing to do with this conversation. I said, praying only makes you the prey, P-R-E-Y. It makes you the weak one and the selfish one. It makes you dependent on something outside of yourselves. It makes you dependent on something outside of yourself to make things happen. That's what people don't see. She said, that's not mine, it's not my experience. That's why I said to each his own. I said, well, keep wasting your time then. Because prayer ain't doing nothing. She said, I don't put time in it. How you don't put time in prayer when prayer is going to cost you time to do it? You got to take the time out to pray. She said, texting you these messages is more time than praying. Well, you must not be doing much praying then. You know, if texting me is a more timely investment than praying for you, then you must not be spending much time in prayer, which I guess that goes along with the Bible saying you shouldn't go on and on and on and on about what you need from God. You really shouldn't be praying at all, because if God already know what you need, then you shouldn't be spending no time in prayer anyway. Before you ask him, he know what you need. I say prayer ain't doing a damn thing for our people. So I'm trying to help us see collectively, in the totality, in the grand scheme of things, it ain't doing nothing for us as a people. It may be doing something for you selfishly, but it ain't doing nothing for us collectively. Maybe, she say, maybe your mind. So this is why prayer makes you selfish. She telling me maybe my mind and my spirit is not right, in the right place when I pray. Or maybe, she say, or maybe you don't pray. She said, or maybe you don't pray so you wouldn't know. But she know that I was a real Christian. You know, I used to be a real Christian for almost 20 years. So she know I done spent time praying. She said, maybe your faith isn't strong to believe what you're praying for. So why do you need faith to pray? Why do you need faith to pray for something that God knows you need? Why are you getting the blame for not getting your prayer answered when God is supposed to be the provider who is supposed to provide for his children, whether they have faith or not. Why do you need faith? For God to provide something that he knows that you need. I told her, you sound like a Christian, laugh out loud. She said, I am, and I'm blessed and highly favored. All this is pride and selfishness. I am this, I am that. My prayers are getting answered, and yours is not. I say, I ain't got time to entertain that foolishness. I said, like I said, go read your children that story about Ezekiel and let me know what they think. The story I put up about God making Ezekiel eat a dookie sandwich, making him eat cow feces that I put up last week. I told her to go read that to your kids and see if they still want to be a Christian like you. It's amazing how I'm showing her what I wish somebody showed me when I was a Christian. Yet I'm showing her all these reasons not to be a Christian, what nobody never showed me, and she still want to identify as that. I don't know what's wrong with these people, bro. She said, I don't have a relationship based on what's in the Bible. My relationship is spirit to spirit. I told her, well, you ain't no Christian then. You fooling yourself. A Christian is someone who follows Christ. So calling yourself something else. No, I told her, so call yourself something else, because you're not a Christian. You can't follow Christ without following the Bible. Because being a Christian is based on the Bible. She said, like I said, my relationship is spiritual, not religious. Well, if you read James chapter 1, it says, pure and undefiled religion is to take care of orphans and widows and to keep yourself unspotted from the world. So having a relationship with God or being a Christian is being a religious person according to the Bible. You can't separate it. You can't separate being a Christian from being a religious person. It's one and the same. She said, like I said, my relationship is spiritual, not religious. I said a Christian's relationship with God is based on the Bible. You can't get around that. She said most Christians don't know the Bible, so that can't be true. Maybe parts of the Bible. And I told her, well, they're not actually Christians because they're not actually Christians. If you don't follow Jesus, you're not a Christian. You have to obey the Bible to be a Christian. I told her I was the example of a real Christian. And you know this. Most Christians are just imposters, like she is. They're only Christian in word and not deed. Jesus said you will know them by their fruit, not by what they say they are. She said, I communicate with the Spirit, whatever that means. You talking to yourself. She said, I'm not trying to debate with you, and I don't care about what you believe in or don't believe in. So she don't care about me. I mean, this all comes from like being selfish and being prideful as a Christian. You don't care about nobody else. You don't consider nobody else. Right? You're inconsiderate. She said, I know my life and my experience and my relationship. I know my relationship. I know my experience. Selfishness. Right? I know my life. I know my God. I know my experience. I know my Jesus. I know my relationship. I told her to say less because I won't be in consistent communication with anyone who identifies themselves as a Christian. So just let me know that now. So we can go and end this right now. She said, well, block my number then. So I granted her request. But she said her fruit is good. My fruit is good and plentiful. And I told her, not if you don't follow the Bible. She said, I follow the parts of the Bible that make sense. And I told her, you're not a Christian then. You can't pick and choose. You can't cherry pick. She said, it doesn't matter what the title is. I don't care about that. I have a relationship not based on titles. Well, being a Christian is a title. She said, I have a real relationship not based on titles, church, or the Bible. I told her to stop saying you're a Christian then. She said, my prayer is communication. I said, communication with who? You don't even know who you praying to. Who are you communicating with? She said, you do realize our body is flesh, but we are spiritual beings. That's what people say. We are spiritual beings. She said, I'm not trying to debate with you, and I don't care about what you believe in. Yeah, so like I said, man, being a Christian, religion, God, it always destroys good relationships because it causes division amongst human beings. And it causes one to be selfish above the other. So that's how prayer changed things for me and this young lady yesterday. It changed things for the worse.